I've seen how scientific discovery can answer profound questions about the structure of the universe that answers our innate human curiosity to understand and to explore.
It makes us imagine what is possible, what helps us be inspired.
It's asking those initial questions, finding the answers, and applying what we've learned to solving those problems.
Some of these come down to the existential questions of like, why are we here? How did we get here? Are we alone?
Rice University is pretty young in the whole, ecosystems. But when we see what has been accomplished in the last 50 years, is astonishing.
Since the founding of Rice over a century ago, the natural sciences have been at the core of the institution's academic mission. But 50 years ago, in 1975, President Hackerman founded an independent school of natural sciences here, along with schools of engineering and business and music. And that really laid the foundation for the tremendous growth over the last 50 years and the progress which, in the natural sciences, established Rice as an internationally recognized leader. Rice has a legacy of path-breaking research in the sciences. In fact, many of Rice's most celebrated achievements originated within the Wiess School. Research that opened entirely new fields of human endeavor, like the discovery of carbon-60 by Rick Smalley and Bob Curl and their collaborator Harold Kroto. That was the birth of nanosciences, which is the foundation of Rice's status as a world-renowned center for research in materials. Or pioneering work modifying the genetic code to program bacteria to turn waste into valuable materials, which put Rice at the forefront of synthetic biology. And the establishment of space science after John F. Kennedy launched America's moonshot with a speech at Rice Stadium.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Being a scientist is really a great privilege because every day you have the chance to discover something that might answer some great mystery. And yet you also know that curiosity-driven research can have such a huge impact on the future in ways that we may not even know right now. It's fantastic to be here at a time when Rice is growing and there's so much investment in expanding what we really can dream of as a university. And so we're growing our student body, but we're growing the faculty along with it. And this really allows us to invest in these exciting new areas where we really see the future of discovery is going to take us.
Working with the faculty here at Rice and the faculty of the School of Natural Science definitely has a huge impact on a student like myself, a PhD student. My research focuses a lot on chemical detection, specifically of environmental contaminants. It's oftentimes very refreshing to find a lot of these faculty to be so accessible and actually approachable, whether it's science, obviously the work we do, but also like career options, career path, exploring what I can do as a PhD student eventually after.
I do research with nutrient depletion on algae with little hard shells around them to see how it impacts the shell around the algae itself. For my research, it is incredibly multidisciplinary. I do literally work between two labs, one on the EAP side, one on the biology side. And in that sense, I also have two mentors, one's on the EAP side, one on the biology side. So through that, I get really valuable mentorship both on geochemistry and understanding the oceanic environment, and also on the biology side with understanding the organisms and how they respond to things. So this has set me up, I believe, to go into the scientific world and really work on communicating with a wide variety of scientists in a wide variety of fields.
The Wiess School is extending its legacy of scientific leadership in 4 priority areas for the school that address great societal challenges and also answer profound questions about the universe. We're driving the development of advanced materials. We're expanding our understanding of the Earth and the environment, and discovering new technologies in biological sciences and human health, or focusing on very profound questions about the underlying structure of the universe.
One of the things I've learned as a scientist is that it's not always easy to know what fundamental discoveries are going to lead to gigantic revolutions in society.
We're working in a field called organic synthesis. We're developing new ways how to construct small organic molecules. More than half of the medicines are derived from, small molecules. And what we need to figure out is how to find ways to build them.
I'm in the Star and Planet Formation group, part of astronomy and astrophysics, so my primary interest is what does the larger star forming environment do to shape the outcome of planet formation. So most of what we've studied is on the very small scales, but when you put something in bigger context, you learn more about all of the forces that are shaping outcomes.
We have coral reef biologists like myself who are looking at how shifts in the animals that live on the coral reefs are kind of tracking changes in climate as well, and what that means for the rest of the world as corals begin to decline because sea surface temperature increases. What does that mean for the local communities who are relying on these fish for food and things like that? One of the big questions that we're looking at right now in the ecological space and in the environmental space is how the biodiversity of Houston, how the infrastructure of Houston is going to respond to climate change.
One of the key areas we're working on is figuring out how to use synthetic biology for sustainable purposes. Our work focuses on how do we use these microbes to actually just understand what's going on in our environment, alert us to potential problems.
What Rice is really doing exceptionally well in the last couple of years is merging sciences with the healthcare. We are next to our biggest biomedical center, Texas Medical Research Center on the planet, and having all these initiatives where we are directly connected with leaders of medicines that are just across the street. I can easily predict that in the next 50 years, Rice will start making significant impact in human health, driven, of course, by our science.
In many ways, we're living in a golden age of science. All these things have brought within our grasp advances that we couldn't have dreamed of. So discovery is accelerating, it's going faster, and science is more important today than it ever has been in the past.